today's video, we're going to be talking about keyword research. I'm going to show you my process, my little, papers and, and things, my little organization, or sometimes it looks like a lack of organization, but it works for me, right? Whatever works for you. I'm going to show you that, and yeah, stay tuned. Hey everyone, if you are new or returning, welcome here at It's Primary. We talk, teach your side hustles, and thank you for all the wonderful comments about last week's keyword tools. Many of you are going to try them. Again, if you want different results, you've got to do something different. You just have to. We need to do something different, and there are schools that are no longer using TPT, but then there's more schools that are. So there's things that we need to kind of try and do to get their eyes on our products. So let me turn the camera around. Actually, I've just got home from work or school. It's called work. And I'm going to get into something more comfortable. I'm going to eat my dinner, and then let's come back and I'll start showing you some things. Okay, I have had dinner and dessert and had leftovers so that I've packed them away for tomorrow's lunch. That's perfect. Love that. I clear off my desk, right? And I have a couple things sort of open. Actually, one thing is not open, so let's get it open. And that's TPT. Hello. And I usually have, I can't quite, oh, there he is. Usually have a cat visit about this time, in the moment I try to sit down. Just a second here. So I like to set a nice atmosphere. I don't know if you can hear the noise in the background. There's water boiling for a cup of tea. I've got on my comfies, and I put on some music. I'll play some music in a moment. I usually go on to, I like Spotify. I have the free version of Spotify, but I go on to Spotify and I find some either classical or instrumental hymns, something calming, right? So I can sort of focus. So let's put some music on, see if it goes on. And then I have my stuff out. Okay, and I don't know if you can quite see this, so I'm going to move the camera a tiny bit so you can see what I'm doing, but can't quite see on the screen here. Let's move this a little bit closer. No, you still can't quite see. Okay, I've got TPT. Nope, it doesn't look like I can show you that. Okay, anyways, that's TPT. I have my keyword research, which is available in my TPT store. So it's here. Oh, it's terrible. I'll show it a little better in a minute. So I have this open. Right now I have SellerSpy open, which you heard about last week. And then I'm going to show you, I've made this. I've got a couple things here happening. So actually, let me back up. I like to start with scrap. Okay, is lighting okay? Interesting. Okay, so I like to start with scraps, and I know some people use Post-it notes, and I used to use Post-it notes, but I started losing some of them. They get stuck on the back of something, and cats would run off with them. When we go to conventions, and I'm sure you've been to a couple or several hundred, they always give you these books. Here, have a notebook. So that's what I use. I actually put my notes in one of these, and then I transfer them. Now, as I said, I've got the TPT keyword research open. Let me just, don't know. Anyways, I've got my keyword research on, and I can't quite tell if you can see it. That's here, but this is sort of my last step here, because I like to work with paper and pen when I'm doing keyword research. I actually don't use this. This becomes my last thing, because the products that I end up picking, I will transfer over to here. This was getting too long. I actually have a Keywords 2022, and then I have a Keywords 2023, and then I actually created a SellerSpy one where things that I actually worked on, and I actually put in the color codes. Oh, we went really dark there for a minute. That's strange. Okay, so like I said, and then monthly trends. I keep track of monthly trends. Now that with Elliot's Teacher Boost, I will The camera is like, With Teachers Boost, I actually start adding things that he's, the little rocket. I've added that. Not every single week. In things that I'm interested in, I keep track of. So they're now in my monthly. I've got SellerSpy stuff here that I've done based on them. Yeah, it's switching. This camera's fascinating. And then I actually have page standings where I look to find me, and there's a few times I'm on the first page. So there's different stuff here. Well, like I say, it's kind of weird, but I'll show that in a minute. I technically don't really work on this. This is kind of my last one. So I'm going to get out of here for a moment. If you're a computer person, let me know, and maybe I can send a link. If you've already bought the research, I can send a link so you can see how I've done these ones, and you can add it. I've also created a little progress little chart here. I don't know if you can see it. Started, done, thumbnails, cover, preview, description, blog pin, that kind of thing. And I take them off as they're done and things like that. But what I do when I'm actually doing research is I don't use this, because I only want to have, I'm going to close this. I only want to have something like SellerSpy, Teachers Boost, and TPT on, okay, which you can't see. So those are the three that I want on here. I don't want to have the fourth that I have to work on. I just like to go back and forth. So I have a notebook, and I'm going to write my stuff in here. And then I also have, and I just only started doing this like August, September, I'll show you a blank one here. I made this in Canva. So it's a month. Fits perfectly. Here, let me turn the camera a bit. Okay, so I do a lot of my stuff in a happy planner. I love happy planners. I used to have a separate planner for business, a separate planner for personal, and it was too much. So I've actually started amalgamating my business in there. And then what I did is I made one of these in Canva, and so that stays in here. So I do one for each month, and I write about 10 things. So this one's just taking notes. I'll find possible products that I may never do, but I'm just writing notes. I'm kind of going through that, and then I start thinning out the crowd, and I'll put down the ones that I'm thinking of doing on here, because I have my planner open every day with my data, and so I keep track of what I'm doing in my business within this planner. So that's just me. I enjoy writing, and I'll write notes. Actually, this one has been redone. So here it is here on Canva, and it's got now a notes section at the bottom that I just finished playing with, because that's something I do scribble on the bottom. Okay, my stuff's ready. I don't have a pen out, which is shocking, and I can hear my water boiling, so I'm going to go grab a cup of tea, and then we will start. So I'm going to switch back and forth between my screen and me. And so you can see the whole process. But now I've got my cup of tea. My stuff's, like I said, right here, ready to go. And I do, one of the questions was, how often do I do keyword research? I do it once a month, because, especially now with SellerSpy and even Teachers Boost, things are updated every month and numbers can change. So right now I've got just the dashboard of SellerSpy open, and then TPT, and I'll go back and forth with numbers, because I could probably go back to my August searches and the end of July searches and see different numbers. I mean, I'm sure we're not the only people here who are making these products. I'm sure there are other people finding out, hey, there's gaps here and making products, and then there's more. In August, I started making products that they weren't necessarily back to school, but they were products that either Teachers Boost or SellerSpy were saying were sort of trending. Okay, and when I say sort of trending, it means they weren't hot, but they were, like Teachers Boost, it was like a 1 or a 2. And I went, oh, I should maybe consider making that. So I went into SellerSpy, and I'll give you an example of something that I did. Oh, I remember, there was actually one product that was a back to school, and it came up on Teachers Boost about gift tags. Okay, so I'm going to pop it in here. I'm going to turn the camera so you can see this, about back to school gift tags. It was really, I think on Teachers Boost it was either a rocket or it was a one. It was one of them. And so then I went on to SellerSpy. So I went in to use the free keyword tool because I don't think I was subscribed at that point. So I went in here, and it has changed. The interface has changed a little bit, but I typed in here, back to school gift tags. And again, now that I have a membership or skip subscription, it's coming up to this one. So this came up. Okay, so it was green and it was orange. When I did it, it was green and green. So it was more popular back in August when I made them, right? So this is being updated, but that number was a little bit lower. Now, if I go on to TPT and go back to school gift tags, see it shows up and it says 7,000, which is a lot. I narrowed it down to K1, which was 27, which is green. This is the other thing, is you can't do 2 grades anymore. I used to be able to do 2 grades. I just went down and I looked to see what people had made. And a lot of these have made many, many, many sales. So I made this, and then sure enough, I got a sale shortly after making it and uploading it. Right? Because again, people were looking for them. And so I don't know where I was, if I was on the first page or whether I talked about it in a note to followers, but it sold. It sold, like I said, really quickly. When you are dealing with lower results, you have a higher chance of getting sales. So that was just one example of what I did. Now, that was the only back to school that I remember doing. The other things were just what you would consider either seasonal or evergreen. We're going to talk more about that in next week's video, when the video will actually be on what can I make. This is how I do things. I think of something that I might be interested in making. Okay, so right now at the time of the filming, we are in the first couple days of October, and so I'm thinking, do I want to make something with Halloween? That's a possibility. I think I've only made one Halloween product. Is Halloween popular? Let's find out. Let's go to SellerSpy. Sometimes I'm just in SellerSpy just because I find it faster. So I'm going to go in here, Halloween. Whoa, let's see, look at that number, 194,000. Way too high. 18,000, 126, 17, 59. So the answer is no, I will not be making anything for Halloween. None of those even come remotely close. To me, it's not worth it. Now, I could type Halloween boom cards. I don't know if that'll show up. Let's just see. Oh, it does. Okay, it's better, but not a lot of people are searching for it. But 83 is definitely a better number. So now this is the next thing I'm going to do. Let's just see if these numbers are accurate, okay? Let's quickly go pop over to TPT. Let's do Halloween boom cards, and it shows up. That's good. Keeping first grade still in there. See, over on SellerSpy, it's 83.65. It's 7,800 plus, but I've also flagged it for first grade. Let's take that out and let's see if it goes to 80. It says 9,000. But you can see it didn't drop a whole lot. Even if I put in K, 7,300. Yeah, it's still not very low. So to me, I'm thinking, nah, I don't think I'll do something like that. Okay, but that's how I do it. And then I go over to, I'm going to actually open up Teachers Boost for a second. So what I tend to use the most is his trending keyword search tool. Okay, so if I type Halloween in here, just to see what he comes up with, this is taking a long time, which means the numbers are probably higher. Not necessarily, but okay, I'll let that sit for a second. I'm going to move on. I'm going to try fall. Let's see what shows up for fall. I suspect it's going to be as big as Halloween. 252,000, 252,000, 152,000, 42,000, right? So some of these seasonal things are going to be tricky. I think I mentioned last week, when you're doing if you're a person who loves crafts, I think you could sell quite a bit on TPT. They seem to do, look at this number is higher, the demand is higher for what's actually there. So that's always a good thing. But even fall math, it's too high. But if I go over to fall math on TPT, and again narrow it down, I suspect kindergarten will still be high. See, 96,000. What does it say over here? Fall math, where'd it go? 69,000. Because to me, thought fall math would be way higher too. Look at this. On TPT, fall math is 230,000. But now, here's a discrepancy I just remembered. I remember looking this up and trying to remember why. This will also highlight any fall only activities. So you could have fall literacy on here and it will show up on here because of the word fall. If you put in fall math in quotation marks, you're telling the system you only want those two words. Now look what happens. So in order to get just fall math, we're now down to 5109. Now we've got something happening. And if I go K, fall math, look at there. Now we have something. But how many of our teacher friends, when they're shopping, will actually put quotation marks around fall math? That is something that's worth considering. Now let's go over here to, here are the numbers for Halloween, all too high. Okay, but if I do fall math, I'm going to put in quotation marks and see what happens, if it'll work or not. It may or may not. Okay, we'll let that go and we'll come back. So fall math worksheets. Actually, let's do fall math. Let's see what it says. And again, this is why it takes me a good hour to come up with maybe 10. Because I'm constantly, oh, it does not like the quotation marks. Interesting. Okay, that's good to know. Fall math worksheets at 18,000 now might be something to look at. Or fall math games, 13,000. Let's go over here. Fall math worksheets. Look at that. If somebody puts those exact words in with quotation marks, 105. Wow. Let me get rid of the K and see what it's without it. 207. No way. No way. Oh, look at that. We just found a gap if people know to use quotation marks. But if I look at the people on this page, okay, 242, that's not bad. 181, 375, 223, 237. Well, these are pretty decent numbers for the first page. 56, 46, 15. Wow. Okay, so actually now let's put kindergarten back in. Okay, there's the first one, Kinder My Way. That's K to 2. Yeah. And remember, reviews don't mean how many sales they got. That's how many people actually responded. I can tell you that I have a product that is sold over 130 times, and I think I only have 5 reviews on it. I mean, that's terrible. It has sold a lot more than 5. Okay, so here's a gap. Like I said, if you can train your people, your audience, to put in quotation marks, they're going to be able to find you. One of the things I would consider doing, and this came up again on a question, like what do we make? What do you make for a freebie? I would say make something that is it's needed. Okay, let's go back to this fall math. See, these numbers are still too high. But if I do fall math worksheets, which is lower here, it's a green light because look how many people are searching for it right now. It's popular. Even fall math is popular. But I would make something that is people are looking for. And then because it's a freebie, they're more inclined to, they will use that. Like if I go fall math worksheets and go down to freebie. So if you made something as your freebie to start, this would actually be good. The other thing is you could also use it, something like this, for your email. So this is my process. I play with it. I go to various things. So let's just do winter math. So right now fall math is trending at 3,900. Let's see what winter math is doing. Winter math. Give me winter. Oh, you don't like winter. Okay, let's put winter. Let's try that. Yeah, see the numbers are considerably lower because we're not in season. By the way, Mrs. Winter's Bliss is an actual store. Isn't that interesting that stores are starting to show up? How come winter math didn't show up? Maybe winter math is not a trend. Let's just look at this. Winter, whoops. See, if you look at the first 5, and see how there's Mrs. Winter's Bliss right there. See, it doesn't show up. That means there's not enough people looking for it as winter math. Interesting. Yeah, I think it would be as popular as fall, wouldn't you? I play with things. Sometimes I go down rabbit trails. Sometimes I'm very focused. Snow. Let's try something with snow. Like I said, I'll look at the keywords and I'll go with that. And snowman. So some of these are still too high. Show and tell. Interesting. Show and tell is show and tell parent letter. That's low. Look at that. 92. Snoopy, probably trademarked. I'd be careful with that one right there. So snow is not, it's a little bit too high. And it's right now, again, it's not trending at the moment. Like it's not pretty popular. Leaves. So just think of, sometimes all I do is I type in a word of either a object or a item, or sometimes I will just type in subjects, but I'll add something. Like science is too general, right? You got to add something. Leaves template. So I'm right at this point, I would be looking for green and green. Something high enough. Fall leaves. That's high. That ain't. I'm going to go back over here. Let's see if leaves is any better. There was an old lady who swallowed some leaves. Oh yeah, I remember that. Why do leaves change color? So that'd be a good science or STEM project. If you know this book, you could write some activities for it and look at, you've got a rocket. Yeah, it leaves us way too high. Remember, you want to try and get these numbers, the lower the better. So I would do, me personally, I would try and keep everything under 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or the rocket. Oh, but look at this. There's some more rockets. So these mean, do them right now. Math about me. And it's giving you the long tail keywords to use in your titles. These are the titles that you would use. Don't make something unique or cutesy, because people don't type that. They type these things, so that's still a bit high. Let's see what SellerSpy is. Math about me. Yeah, see, look at how popular it is right now. 4,000, that's great. Okay, math about me worksheet. That's better number. I still think, even though it's orange, I still think 400 people looking for your product, that's pretty good. I like math all about me. Was that trending? Math, that's all about me math. 13, 11. These are getting better now. These numbers are a little bit more interesting. Let's go back here. Which one was I looking at? A math about me worksheet. Let's look at this one. Math about me worksheet. Okay, now we're under 5. Okay, so now what I'd like to do is I'm going to write this one down, Math About Me worksheet, because that's my long tail keyword. Okay, so I'm just writing in my notebook here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in here, Math About Me's worksheet. I'm going to go over here to the I. So you have to have the paid account to get this. And what you're going to do is you're going to see a little bit more information. So these are their keyword insights. So even with Teachers Boost Math About Me worksheets 11, 11's a bit on the high side, but that doesn't take into consideration the grade that you may want. So if I put in K, it's down to 4,300. Okay, that number makes a difference. If I did, let's say I did grade 3, what would grade 3 look like? 3,300, right? So depending on your grade, right? Kindergarten, grade 1 are the highest. What about grade 1? Yeah, these guys are the highest all the time. All the time. Okay, let's go back SellerSpy. Okay, so here we've got it right here. So 11,000 currently. That's taking into consideration K to 12. Okay. And if you look, so the number one person, if you just didn't put in the grade as a filter, look at these first couple ones. 5th, 6th grade. This math worksheet doesn't say. This is a free 2nd grade, free 3rd grade, right? So some of these don't say. So let's take out the 1st grade. Again, this is the things that I do. So you might thinking, what are you doing? So here it is, just like it said on here, SellerSpy, 5th grade, right there. So that one wouldn't be in competition with me. And then here's Sheila. Now she's got no grade specified. I would say just looking at it, it's going to be probably grade 2 to 3. And it says, it's interesting because it says free worksheet on there, but it's actually $2. So, oh, and she's also got under here, it's part of the 4th grade bundle. 2nd to 5th, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 1st. So here's the first one. It's free, 5th, K. Free. No one wants to pay for this one. 1st. Okay, so these are almost exact matches, interesting enough. A lot of the first page are freebies. And it seems to be, look at this, store is dominating the freebies. So the prices really vary. So when it's blank, it's free. And if you're wondering how they got on the first page, that means they've sold. They just don't have any reviews. Right? So that could be a fairly new product, or it could be an old product. We don't know, right? We'd have to actually look at it. K to 12, it's very competitive. It's hard to get, difficult to get on the first page. But the actual product itself is very popular right now, okay? And if you were to create a blog post, it's searching very well on Google. So that sometimes is even a better indicator of whether I should do it. If I can, because I know my website is doing pretty well, I can make a blog post about Math About Me worksheet and then drive the traffic, because that is how one of my #1 products is selling, through the blog. So I'm going to put this one on my list, Math About Me worksheet, and I'm going to go back to the keyword generator, and I'm going to put down 403, which is orange, and 3393. And then what I do is in brackets, I'm gonna filter it to kindergarten. I teach grade 1, but in certain parts of the United States, same age as grade 1. Okay, and it's 4,300. Oh yeah, that's right, it was more. Like I said, I'm gonna just put a question mark with that one. Might consider something like that. So this is just one of the ways I work with this. It takes me a good hour to play with it. So back in August, when I was searching for something to make, I saw a gap with a product called Monthly Reading Bingo. Now when I saw this one, I thought, this might be a possibility. So let me just kick the generator, and I'm going to go also to Teacher Boost, because I can't remember where I saw it. I think it might even been on Teachers Boost, Monthly Reading Bingo. But one of them kind of gave me the tip off. I'm just trying to remember which one. Okay, so here it is right now. So look how low it is. 345, green light, and then 192 are looking for it. I can't remember if I wonder if those were my same numbers. Let's take a quick look. I don't even know if I wrote the numbers back in August. Let me just double check here. Yeah, my monthly ones, when I did this number was 367, and this one was 311. So see, people made it. And it was still orange green, but I thought, hey, I could make a blog about this. This one would probably work. So I went on to here, and I looked to see who was ranking. Actually, let's look at so it's got a rocket right now. That means go for it, right? So it might have been Elliot's email that went out that I saw this, that maybe triggered it. So I did that. Let's do Monthly Reading Bingo, 270 plus. Okay, so here it is on TPT, and SellerSpy says go for it. You may be able to get on the first page with this keyword. It's not very popular at the moment, right? This can act as a back to school if you bundled it, right? Some people might think, oh, I don't want to get into the middle of a bundle, right? If I can only use it for this year. And then the search results. So I thought, this is something I can talk about. It said, go for it. And so I did. And let me just scroll down, because at the end of September, I was on this first page. There I am. Look at that. So I made a bundle, and now it has sold a couple times. It sold almost right away when I posted it. And I'm already on the first page, and I don't even have a review yet. How cool is that? And let me just see where we are on TPT. So we'll just go down. I made September's by itself. I didn't have it as a bundle. It got 2 sales right away. It went on the first page. Now, as you can see, it's no longer on the first page. Why, I'm not totally sure, but let's scroll. There I am. And this actually is growing, and it's, like I said, it's got a couple more sales. I've got to update this, and because I've already got November in here, and now I'm just working on finishing December for upload. So here is a product that I made in August, and it's already on the first page. And I suspect I have a couple. I might have September and October on the second page. Yep, I do. So there's September, the top of the second page, and there is October. I don't think November. I just uploaded November. I don't think it's going to be here, because someone's got to download it. But look at that. So I got 3 products about this. Oh, there's November. It's already on the third page. Okay, that was not that difficult. Pretty easy words. Okay, and that's what you want. People are going to see that stuff, right? It boggles my mind that some of this stuff ranks higher than other people's stuff on here that has been on here for a while. But that's because I know how to optimize. Okay, that's why I talk about you've got to optimize. If you do your keyword research correctly, you will get yourself on the first page, especially if the numbers are lower. And that's really what I want to talk about more so in the next video, about what do I make? What should I be making right now? Because I have some theories, and right now with some of the products that I've been making based on low numbers, okay, and they're not necessarily hot. Like I said, this one, the monthly reading, still has a rocket. It's still popular. I'm still getting sales. It's not as big as fall math or something like this, but it's still getting sales. And to get on the first page for maybe a smaller product, to me, is worth it. You know, if you're going to do an addition to 20 with 100,000 search results, you might not even get found, period. So let's find something smaller, spend some time with this, get yourself ready. If you want, I might, let me know if you're interested in this. I won't put it on TPT. I think what I might do is, for your, if you want to add your email to my Side Hustle Help email, which goes out every 2 weeks, I'll give you this as a freebie, right? And like I said, I have a happy planner punch, and I just cut it down to, I scaled it down to 80%, cut it, put the punch in, and now it fits into my happy planner. And I have the classic size. Anyway, so the next video is going to be about products. What do we make? Okay? So wherever you are in the world, I hope you and your family are staying safe, being healthy, and we'll catch you in that video or the playlist. See ya.